Hello and welcome to this rugged setting of the Borderlands for what will be our level 20 episode of Trials of the Tempest. We've made it into the epic and we had somewhat of a baptism of fire. I made my usual mistake going into epic, trying Reaper straight away. This time I say only Reaper 1. But we got annihilated by the first three opponents in the Snitch quest, one of which was one of those psionic thrall things, and I just couldn't get through its damage resistance, just couldn't kill it. So it ended up smashing us. So on the one hand it does feel a touch frustrating, this significant bump up in difficulty while this event is going on. The damage reduction to me feels somewhat overdone, like way out of tune with anything else in the game, to the extent that if, as I just had in a quest just now, you have an end boss, which is a normal end boss, and in the background there is a standard monster, but a psionic one, you would almost always go for the psionic one first. So it just feels a little bit out of proportion on that side. But on the plus side, it's nice to know that we are all able to contribute. By killing those things, I think we contribute when the next step of the event opens towards making one of those big illithids appear for somebody to kill and move the event on a little bit. I have noticed that the first special dungeon has now been unlocked, and there seem to be some pretty unique mechanics in there to get a hold of. I think it's one of these where you've definitely got to kill things in order. So kill first the opponent who is raising from the dead all the others, then kill the one who is shielding all the others, and then kill the healer, and then the rest of the stuff should follow. So there's that, and also the damage seems to be way higher than you might expect. I saw somebody doing it in Reaper 1, Legendary Reaper 1, and they were getting absolutely hammered on what is, well, it was a tanky warlock, so a very defensible build, one would think, but yeah, they were getting pummeled. So I think that tells us a little bit what to expect from that content. If you didn't know, that's where those new cards will drop from for the is it Deck of Many Curses. They seem to have removed the negative effects, so I think from what I can understand at least, there's nothing to be lost now from progressively adding those little bits onto your end game gear and hoping you get something half usable on there. So where are we with our enhancements? I mentioned that we were going to reorganize, and so we have. So we've just kept 24 in Deepwood, the 4th core very advantageous, plus 3 points for killer for the double strike, which is very good too. We've got the capstone dervish, 4 dex, 10 double strike, melee power, PRR, MRR, very nice as well. And then we've gone into Horizon for our trance and our haste boost. Now these two together are quite nice because they're on the same cooldown. They last for 2 minutes, so if I can just pick up when they run out, I can trigger them both again and then forget about them for another 2 minutes. Nothing mega special taken in here. A +3 attack, +3 dodge, favoured enemy fey, 1 saving throw traps just to get up to the next level. The mark target is quite nice, contrary to the one in here, which is which is limited charges. This one you can use as often as you want, and anything we mark has -20% fortification, which is pretty decent, I think, for something that's limitless. especially at the moment, as those psionic things are so desperately tough to bring down. I mark them always. Mark them, mark the end boss. So that is coming in quite handy. And to have it limitless is nice. Gear wise, I haven't changed too much. We've got our treasured epic crocodile tooth. Very nice item for us, lots of accuracy there so we don't get too many misses hopefully. Armor piercing to go nicely with our fortification bypass things. We've got precision, remember, plus that gives us 40, plus if we mark the target that's 60, so more chances to get our crits in, which is what the build is kind of centered around. This is a salt marsh item, by the way, upgraded from level 3, really easy to upgrade. As you can see down there at the bottom, if you can fit a 5-piece set in, you get a really nice set bonus as well. So our second salt marsh piece for the positive spell power side of things. Very useful as we've picked up now our renewal heal. I'm hardly using the cure serious and cure moderate anymore. Let's have a look on that score. The rest of the gear is just the same, aside from I put 2 Borderlands scimitars in there. These are pretty good on their own. You can see that it's a big bump up in damage, 3 dice default instead of the 1 point what was it that the level 16 Siranian weapons had. I think they may be in the bank, so I might not be able to compare. Well, if those are 1.4, I think the 16 or 15s would have been 2 probably. So it's a full dice upgrade. We're only going to use them for this one level because Mike has very kindly donated to the cause a couple of drow scimitars of the Weapon Master with a wider crit profile. So if I understand it correctly, we might have a critical roll when we equip those of 12 to 20, which is ridiculously good on anything that can be crit. When you start getting stuff that's very crit resistant, I suppose that's where the fortification bypass comes in. So yes, just kind of placeholders, but good placeholders. That's why I've not bothered slotting any augments in there. I plan to, when we hit 21, I plan to make one of those drow things sentient and give them as much love as we can to boost our chances going forward. What else have I got noted down? Yes, epic destinies. So these are the 3 I am planning to use. I thought we'd have a look at Divine Crusader, maybe as our main one, as we haven't yet been in there with anything, I don't think. I was looking at the Holy Mantle. Weapons you wield are considered to have your alignment. I think we've got chaotic neutral, haven't we? So it would be better if we had a second thing there, like chaotic good would have been nice. But then when you go up onto the 3rd tier, you can make scimitars and just about any weapon you have a favoured weapon and give them +1 W dice, which isn't bad from level 23. Here in Dreadnought, I've just taken the mantle as a temporary measure. It's not terrible what we get from that, but not what we would like to keep. I'll swap to Crusader one, I think, when we get to here to 23. Dreadnought is for the action boosts. We have 9 uses of haste now, and I have been making good use of that. We have a slight boost to ability scores when we trigger the boost. I was wondering about this imbue thing. We have ghost touch anyway on the gear. We don't have an imbue at present. I could have taken one in the Tempest tree, but then there's nothing else in the standard enhancements, given that we are pure, to give us any more imbue dice. We're a pure standard ranger, not dark hunter, so there's no more imbue dice to be had. So I don't think investment in there is going to prove fruitful. Maybe if we get to 28 and we take Harbinger of Chaos, I might put the 2 points into there then for an imbue dice, because we'll have 2 bonus dice from that. I'll see, but I don't anticipate it being overly useful this life. So otherwise, straight into the Sentinel for the renewal, the fortification, and the energy resist, so we're not messing about for 3 hours casting all the individual resists. Each one of our destinies is giving us, each one of the cores is giving us 5 melee power as well, and some hit points, which isn't bad. We are already pretty robust in the hit point department with the bonus we get from the Tempest tier 5 dual perfection, 25% comp bonus to max hit points, which is just as well because we're being pretty well torn apart even on elite. Things are walking through the defences now. This armour class, which was doing reasonably well in mid to late heroic, is now getting found out. Fortification is pretty good, I think, for the level we're at. The top 2 saves are reasonable. Will is still lagging behind a bit. Dex is okay, could be better. That's one of the things I'm hoping to improve upon a little bit when we go through the Borderlands. I was planning, instead of going on Reaper and getting shredded, planning to try it on Elite and see how we go. I have a feeling that you will see that it's certainly not a cakewalk for us on Elite, especially if one or more of those psionic thrall things pops up. Then we'll have a real test. I'm looking particularly for the belt that gives quality and insightful dex. That would be lovely to find. And a ring with dex 10 on would be nice. I mean, that would bump us up a lot straight away. So there are some nice items here that you can find to really boost up your build going into the early epic. So let's see if we have any luck. I might, not on the video, but I might just whisper this in quiet corners, rerun the odd one or two if I don't get what I'm looking for. Might rerun the odd one just to try to secure one or two of the nicer low-level epic items, because I'm pretty sure they'll come in handy for Purple's future lives one way or another.
To help you infiltrate the camp. She and the Knoll Outlanders want to leave the Borderlands. You there!
Might as well do the buffs before we start.
Inside, I've got just the thing. But I might
Nice upgraded Dusk Heart with 3 charges of 15 minutes Death Ward, which is nice. Again, very easy to upgrade these heroic items to the early epic variation. Still using our Robe of Shadow for the shield.
Oro's Sandcloak lets you in on a secret. Chief Bloodgleam has been lying to the Outlanders about sending their comrades to join the cult. If you can prove that
The
Outlanders
basic
only kill the
strategy will be the
sacrifices
same as it
instead,
was in
it will destroy their loyalty to the
heroic,
chief.
in late heroic. Haste boost for tricky situations. Lead with Dance of Death to get some AoE in against a boss or nasty target. Hit the Growing Storm for the gradually increasing damage. Keep the well, this is new to Epic because we only acquired it at the very end, the Horizon tree. Keep the trans up and haste, and if we need to jump into a fray or out of it, the spring attack is useful for that. Any nasty target that we need to get extra damage on or stop from damaging us too badly, exposing strike. Now, where am I going? Up to the boss. Could haste for a bit of speed, couldn't I?
You spot a gemstone ring among the rubble of bones and blood. Oro said Gravemaw always wore a ring like that before he went to serve the cult. This proof of Gravemaw's death will convince the Outlanders once and for all that they should abandon the cult.
I think we have to talk to this one down here before we can
Boomfoot reveals
finish
that
up.
Zark Sootclub, the renowned Outlander fighter, can't stand the sight of blood. Time to let Zark know what you know. The Knoll nods in agreement.
Okay.
You've convinced enough Knoll Outlanders to turn against Chief Bloodgleam and her cultists. You've convinced members of the tribe to turn against the cult of evil
And
chaos.
as soon as it all kicks off, we will hit the Hood of Unrest and
this should be more than
the
enough
haste
to
boost.
create an uprising in the Knoll's ranks. Chief Bloodgleam bellows at the crowd. You would trust this outsider over your own chief?
I hope he isn't psionic, otherwise there could be trouble straight away.
The Outlanders seem to reconsider. But you have something that will convince them. You hold up Gravemaw's bloody ring and reveal that you found it in the chief's shrine. Chief said Gravemaw joined the cult!
I don't think he is, but there is there a scion in there somewhere? I'm not sure. Let's get the chief marked.
Rushes into the chamber.
Well, there's a scion.
You think you've won against the onslaught of Knoll.
Okay.
Not a single cultist remains standing. The Outlanders cheer, relieved that they can finally leave the Borderlands.
Give us some nice loot.
Those fools!
Oh, it did give us something.
I can't believe they took the bait! Eula stands beside Oro, who laughs with her.
Not terrible.
There
Not
must be
terrible.
more to these two than it initially seemed.
It's not something I have,
Chief
so
Bloodgleam and the other cultists
happy
out
to
of the
get
way,
it.
Eula and Oro can finally escape into the wilds together.
Do we have anything here?
As
No,
they
I don't
turn
think
to
we do,
leave,
do we?
Eula tells you to hold on to the charm of evil chaos she gave you, in case you need help defeating the rest of the cult.
Okay. Well, that's a nice start. Now, I know on Heroic you're guaranteed to get an item of loot from every one of those end chests in here. In Epic, that's definitely not the case. And this is the toughest one of the lot, isn't it? Should probably have left this till last. My hope is that once we have a few epic levels under our belt and we're a bit stronger relative to the content we're trying to do, we might be able to go back onto Reaper. We'll just have to see. Okay, boosts.
Whispery voices and scraping sounds announce the presence of undead.
Looking pretty good. Okay. So as long as we don't have a psionic thing in the crowd, the incoming damage isn't too severe, is it? As soon as you mix one of those things in, we start getting into real trouble. Sorry for waking you from your reverie, sir. I've got to keep a lookout for this missing codex page here, haven't we? The number of times I've just walked past it. You don't need to be around. Okay, good stuff. I think there's another... Oh, another group there, okay. Oof, look at the beating. See, straight away. Psionic thing, psionic thrall, and look at the beating we're taking. Horrible. Just horrible. 2 of those, and even on elite you're in trouble. Or we are with this build. Okay. We are dishing out some reasonable damage too, though, so that's nice. At least we are until we get to those. I can tell when I've slowed down. It's time to boost up again. That's actually not a bad indicator. We don't have max speed, so I can tell when it kind of slows to a bit of a crawl. Multi-target for the win. It's a funny old build in that respect, or a funny class with the it's to all intents and purposes it's a single target big hitter, and yet you have ways to consistently make it multi-target with this Dance of Death. And obviously your Whirlwind backing that up when the Dance of Death is on cooldown. You could see there, even without the boost we were reasonable. I'm just looking around for the codex page, which can sometimes be hidden in these benches. Not this time. Do we see any signs of the of a psionic? No, I don't think we do. So all we have to do is damage him enough to chase him off. I don't think we're going to kill him, are we? Just not going to be able to catch him. I could use my little dart. I'm going to leave him. My what do you call it? Spring attack was on cooldown, so I could only chase him once. Now, did we find any named loot for a start? Nope. Did we find a codex page in here? Nope. So I guess the search goes on. So there's a couple of places down here it can be. Which that's one.
Unseen voices murmur from the shadows of this chamber. Take us with you. Take us away. No, get away. Don't do it. Take the shinies.
I think definitely if the bear was in here, we would have taken the shinies. I'm more from the look but don't touch school. Oh, I can see a psionic down there. That wasn't too bad because we eliminated it straight away. If you allow them to survive for a while, then it becomes much more problematic. This is my last option for places where it could be, so if it's not here, I'm gonna say
expensive-looking gem embedded in the throne made of
happy days. Okay, so if we can do that one, we should be alright with the rest of them. So the mission now is A, to survive, and B, to try and secure some nice level 21 gear to wear for this and future lives. It's got a little bit of something for every build, the level 21 gear from the Borderlands, so definitely worth having a wander through here if, like purple here, you plan on doing different builds, different lives. As far as I know, all the stats are catered for in some way or other, and you can have quality and insightful versions of all stats as well. Right, I think we're good to go.
You enter the caves, determined to eliminate another threat to the residents of the keep. As the last goblin comes, you notice something glittering in the debris under the makeshift wooden walkway. The lock on this stout door does not look pickable. The guardroom door opens with the squeal of metal on metal, rousing the guards on the far side.
Happy days. Let's just get rid of these because they always seem to come wandering out. Now this is a bit of a pinch point, isn't it? There's going to be a lot of stuff here. So let's boost up and try and hold the corner. I see a champion shaman there. Oh, two champions. This could be a problem. Look at us again, halfway down the health bar. And still struggling. Thank goodness he isn't a champion. Oh, but that thing is. Wow, yeah. So that's ample illustration, I think, of my point. As soon as one of those pops up, you're in trouble. Or we are on this build. I can't talk for other people, obviously, but A, real trouble taking the thing down, and B, the incoming damage suddenly goes off the scale.
Around, you spot an iron key in the back of the chamber.
I've complained in the past about it not notifying you when things run out. I think we get notification for both of these, no step and haste, when they wear off. So it's on me now to notice that and act upon it.
This heavy iron-bound door is fitted with an unpickable
Boost.
magical lock. The door swings open on well-oiled hinges, starting on the hobgoblins on the far side.
Okay.
You hear the sounds of guttural chanting coming from the chamber ahead.
You can see when it's kind of normal gameplay, when we don't have
Perhaps the magical runes on the wall are the key to
any psionic things on the menu, we're doing just fine. But as soon as you introduce those things into the equation, it shifts rather rapidly, doesn't it? That's another nice example of multiple hits using Dance of Death with the exposing strike. That's a nice example of a very ill-judged spring attack right into the middle of the things and then taking big damage from them all. So that was a total YOLO.
A massive iron gate bars this passage.
Got another big load of them coming here. Still got the boost going, just a little bit left. That was a better spring attack, catching a few of them. But see the damage that comes in when we are stuck in the middle of a crowd. We suddenly start getting hacked to pieces, don't we? As has been explained to me, when they're getting the side and rear attacks, you don't last very long. So best to try and avoid that. Hood of Unrest on. Boost. Growing Storm. Mark the target. Happy days. Go on, give us something nice. They did. Is that... I can't put it on because it would break my family set I'm wearing, but that's not a terrible item. Unfortunately, any melee character that we do would be using the family set from Shan, wouldn't it? Which includes, excuse me, those gloves, which are a nice item in their own right. So, as nice as it is to get the named loot in the chest, I don't think we'll be making use of that one, sadly. Okay, onwards. As mentioned, the one I would really like is a belt for Dex. I would like the ring for Dex as well. I haven't as yet investigated which ones those would drop in, but hopefully we'll have some nice surprise along the way. Oh, it's the hole. Just for once we didn't fall down though. Oh, we didn't completely optional though. Okay. These narrow corridors here should help us a bit, because it should mean that nothing too much can get behind us to get those sneak attacks and things. If we just hold the door. Oh, we're going to have to go in because they're not coming to us, are they? Psionic there. Get rid of it. Thank you. You can disappear as well, thank you. Okay. Go on, give us some loot. Oh, that's a nice item. I have it already, but it is a really nice item for early epic. Freedom of movement, speed, 4 bonus on your saves. Nothing not to like there. The only reason I wouldn't wear it this life is the DR15 we're currently getting from the Golden Greaves. I think that's too good to take off. But I'm encouraged by how nicely we're doing acquiring the named loot. It gives us hope. I think we've had one in just about every chest so far. Every end chest. That's classed as the end chest for this quest. So if you're wanting to farm those boots, all you have to do is go to that chest. You don't actually have to complete the quest. I know I don't advocate farming, but those boots are pretty nice if you were thinking of doing such a thing. Look at the punishment he's taking and still not dead. Wow. I've said it before, the damage reduction those things have is insane. Finished? Yes, I think we are. I think there's another chest in here if we can find it. No, maybe we can't find it. Okay. What search do we have? Oh, it's not amazing, is it? In fact, pretty poor for epic. Okay. On up to the... is it the Minotaur cave? if we do use Crusader as the main one, we may also be getting that Crusader Epic Strike, the healing thing, which could be quite good for helping us to stand and fight certain things. I don't know what are the other options in the ones we've chosen. Dire attack. Oh, there's. Yeah, I think this one is to do with maintaining hate on the target, so it won't be that. Maybe we could take the Dreadnought one instead to have another offensive option. Actually, I've really missed something there, haven't I? While in Dreadmantle your weapons gain 1 W. That's a terrible mistake. I will rectify that as soon as we come out of the Borderlands. That could have made our life here a lot easier. Why am I rebuffing when we've already got the buff? Dearie me. Okay.
There's now only one way to go. Forward. That's fine with you, as this cave is said to contain much treasure. A burly minotaur stands behind a magical barrier, guarding a pile of treasure.
Double, triple, 4 times the effort to put down the psionic one, and it still came a good way towards killing us. I think we can agree that if it's a choice between that and a Reaper, if you're playing on Reaper mode, you would many times rather see a Reaper than that thing.
This crest matches one of the sockets on the Minotaur's barrier. There must be more somewhere in the cave.
Come on then, if you're coming. Okay, we're not too bad against bats. Our hapless Ranger Red is terrible against these kinds of things. Okay, let's boost up here. Oh, he would be a... This is going to be terrible. Yeah, this is going to be horrible. Let's try and eliminate him passing the other stuff. Oh dear, dear, dear. I mean, skeletons anyway are resistant to... and this is on Elite, remember, this is not Reaper. And the longer he stays up, the stronger he becomes, is how I understand it. Wow. I just hope... I don't know if an end boss can actually be a psionic or not. If it can, then we could be in real trouble, couldn't we? Even on Elite. Let's go and bob our crests in. Don't be a psionic, please. Don't spoil our day. We do not have a crest. Oh, crikey, what have I done? Which one have I missed? Are they? Oh no. Oh, thankfully, although he did damage us nastily, he didn't stick around for too long. I picked that one up. Did I not? Oh, it must be the one from the Fallen Warrior. I was that real. I took the chest and not the crest.
This should be enough crests
Yeah.
to fill all of the sockets on
Typical.
the Minotaur's barrier.
Sadly typical.
With all three
No, I
crests,
think he's normal, so that's okay.
the magical barrier fades. The infuriated Minotaur gives a roar of rage and attacks.
Still taking a bit to put down. Okay, good stuff. See if we can continue our hot streak with the loot. Not this time. I think that's karma for wasting your time. Right, I think we have, is it a couple left? No, 3 left still. Still no sign of a nice dex item. And I'm pretty sure I forgot in that last one, as well as forgetting the crest, I forgot to redo our boost. Our no step mist thing and the haste.
As you walk deeper into the cave, you hear deep, guttural voices in the distance.
Hold the door maybe.
You notice a small iron key in the corner of the room. The iron lock creaks as it opens. You hear hurried footsteps approaching.
Nice.
The smell of meat cooking wafts tantalizingly down the corridor.
Is that a silent? No. Whenever I see a sort of a pinky colour over something, I start worrying.
As the first lever is pulled, the crystal above it flares into life.
You could almost call them the new Reapers, those things. They immediately produce a spike in the difficulty level of whatever quest you happen to be doing.
The image of a small silver key is embossed on a surprisingly well-crafted lock. As the silver lock clicks open, you hear the muffled voices of bugbears again. As the second lever is pulled, you can hear the rumble of the sealed doors sliding open.
Right, remember to put your boosts back on. Hold of unrest.
You open the door. A massive bugbear growls and attacks.
Get rid of that caster first if we can. Yeah, even on Elite we're struggling to beat down the bosses, aren't we? Even when they're not crowns or anything. Hopefully that can improve a bit with the level 21 weapons.
The door to the treasury opens with a satisfying click.
Nothing there. Seems our luck's on the way in here. Okay, up to the orc lair. Don't get me wrong, I think even without these psionic things, looking at our performance against the bosses there, particularly, we would have likely struggled on R1. But I think that's been the trend throughout the Purple series. Going into Epic, doing Reaper straight away has been tough. I think the lesson for me there might be wait a level or two on Elite and then boost it up, unless you're part of a group.
Fearing for their lives, the people of the keep have asked for your help dealing with 2 orc tribes that
For
dwell
so long
inside
I
this
was
cave.
blissfully unaware of this
Judging from
tripwire
the
down here
decor,
in front of us,
each direction leads to a
and
different
just kept
tribe's
wondering
home.
why things all of a sudden materialised out of nowhere. That was pretty good. Oh, another one. Storm, haste boost, a little bit of a heal, that's good. Against those bosses would all be, or the psionics, maybe would be spots for the
lever clicks into place.
the parry
The sound of grinding gears can be
enhancement
heard
that I
somewhere
haven't
in the cave.
taken. This one. So for 18 seconds we could have a bonus of let's call it 20 to dodge, which is not bad, is it? I shunned it initially because I thought it wouldn't be that significant until or unless you got legendary stuff, which we're not going to have. But maybe I was wrong in doing that. We do still have the Hood of Unrest. Okay, not so bad.
Grinding gears can be heard once again as a gate opens somewhere in the cave.
Maybe I should experiment with that elaborate parry. Perhaps I could leave it. I was just thinking it's another button to press and I wouldn't remember to do it. Maybe if I leave it down there next to the Hood of Unrest, I could trigger the two together and have us in a really strong position against any nasty boss. Could I possibly look to do that? Free up 3 points in here from somewhere. We could lose a dex easy enough, couldn't we? And 1 point off there, and then take that. I think I might experiment with that, and then that would at least give us a sort of a lesser hood of unrest to use in sort of mid dungeon situations, not just keeping that one for the end boss. I think I'll go with that. Just making a note, otherwise I'll certainly forget. Where are we going? Last one, the beast or something like that. It's the owl bear, isn't it? So thus far we've found one or two items, but nothing really that's going to significantly help our build.
Judging from the old bones scattered on the floor, something large and dangerous has lived in this cave for some time. But the flicker of torchlight ahead suggests that there have been some more recent encounters.
While the boost is running, let's keep going. Nice job.
The cult of evil chaos has set up camp in this cave, with the goal of capturing and taming the beast that lives within.
Not too bad. Nice. We could block up this door. Thankfully he's not a scion, because a caster scion is never a nice thing. Just keeping an eye on the cooldowns of the haste and no step mist, which is most unusual for me, but I think it's just going to coincide with us going into the final room. The haste, unfortunately, is on a 2-minute cooldown, so you literally can't redo it until the previous ones run out, which is a bit of a bind.
You can also see the nest of something much larger.
Let's get the oh, we've already got the Hood of Unrest on. My bad. Not too terrible.
Ending the cult's plan to make the beast
okay, last chance.
against the residents of the valley.
Not this time. So, at least we managed to make it through unscathed. Almost to 21, so that's good too. I might have a little look and see where the dex ring and belt come from, because I think we could definitely do with both on our build. As we have evasion as well, it's going to boost up our reflex save quite nicely to get those. I think you can get dex 10, can't you, I mean, if it was just that, I would just put some kind of dex augment on, but it's not just that. There's some nice other stuff on the... I think there might even be a profane bonus to all ability scores, so probably worth hunting for. As regards this episode, I think that's brought us nicely to the end. Thank you very much as always for looking. I'm going to redo this tree to get the elaborate parry in there, especially given the amount of damage some opponents can dish out in Epic. I think that's probably going to be a worthwhile investment, and we'll see how we go on with that. Right, I will speak to you in the next one, by which time we'll hopefully have our sentient weapon of choice in place, and be looking a little bit better for the journeys ahead. Take care.